Yeah, that's the plan. We've still got obviously a few things to tick off there with Jordan Smiler and David Pocock, but yeah, you know, if we get through, then hopefully we've got those guys next week.
How do you approach a game like this tomorrow night? What's the mindset, do you think?
Well, the mindset for us, I think, is just a turnaround from last week. We were a little bit passive and timid and waiting to see what the opposition would throw at us this week. We just want to be a little bit more on the front foot.
How have you gone about trying to turn that around this week?
Well, a little bit of talking about it and just I think the way we trained, so it was our first 7-day normal prep coming into a game for about 10 weeks. So it enabled us to have a normal Monday, a normal Tuesday, and I think the attitude was spot on both those days. We were allowed to put a little bit more contact in on that Tuesday session, and I think they responded really well.
Ben, Squeak said that you guys were pretty honest in your review, and saying that they were timid tends to suggest that. Was it a pretty harsh assessment of how the game went last week?
Yeah, the players, we did review a little bit differently this week. The players took control of it and had a good look at themselves in smaller groups, and yeah, I think they were very honest. They presented in the team meeting in front of everyone, and the groups were all sort of on the same page in terms of it wasn't the start that we wanted.
What reasons did they give for everything that happened last week?
Well, a number of things. I think some individual errors at the start of the game, 10 hours of travel, a shortened week. We gave some of our more senior players a rest on the Monday, so it was just a different week with 10 hours of travel the day before the game, and then a couple of mistakes early in the game, and typical New Zealand side gets a bit of confidence and it's hard to peg them back.
I know you said Poey still needs that other week, but as a coach, when you're going into a last round game where I guess you've got to have the mentality that you must win, how tempting is it to throw a guy like him in there?
No, we're always guided by the doctors and physios. I think we've always got the players' best interest at heart. I mean, players are pretty keen to get out there and play, and for the case of Poey, we're trying to hold him back that extra week just to give him that extra bit of healing. He's keen to get out there and play this weekend, but yeah, we've got to do what's right by the player.
That headgear that he's wearing, is that something he'd have to wear even if he did come back next week?
No, I'm not sure. I mean, that's something that was giving him a little bit of protection this week, but I think it comes down to how much confidence he has.
I said to Squeak as well, a week like this, where it's all or nothing on the line basically, do you also, guys like Joey, who had his season ended by injury, Ida, who's not there through injury as well, like, I guess they have guys like that don't have a chance to go out and play finals and win games. Do the guys, I don't know, do you use them as motivation at all?
Well, not this week we haven't, no, but we used Joey a couple of weeks ago when he was out injured and basically aware that this is his last season with the Brumbies for a while. So we got him in there and he told his story, which was a little bit of motivation for the guys, but this week, no, we haven't used any of that. I think very disappointing for Joey. He was quite disappointed after the game on Saturday for Uni Norths. But I just saw him this morning in hospital. He had his operation yesterday, and the good thing is it's going to be a better outcome long term for him. So I think there's plenty of motivation because plenty of guys are leaving at the end of this year. It's a special group of guys that have been together for a long time, and we certainly want to put our best performance on the paddock each week. And I know you're saying, in weeks like this, but for us, and it's pretty much what I've been saying to you all year, is, we don't want to look too far ahead. Every game's as important as the next, and this is just another one in the string of games.
It's easy for players to avoid that talk about the Waratahs, but as a coach, they're talking that they're going to go out tonight and try and put pressure on the Brumbies by using their performance. But I don't know, as a coach, have you taken the same mentality as not even thinking about Waratahs Blues game? Or? No,
there'll be interest in the game tonight. Obviously, all the boys will, whether they watch the game or not, they'll know what the result is before the game tomorrow night, and it's pretty simple. We basically have to match the result that the Waratahs have. But our preparation all week has been about winning this game and putting, the importance is there on winning the game, but the more important thing is putting a better performance on the paddock than what we did last week.
And just a quick word on Squeak as well. Goes past Sharpie as the most capped player in Australian Super Rugby history. I think also goes past you maybe as on the Brumbies all-time list as well. But it says a lot about his longevity, doesn't it?
Yeah, and he's still got a couple of years to go. You know, obviously leaving us next year, but I've no doubt that he's going to be the highest capped Super Rugby player by the time he retires. Yeah, he started when he was young, and he's been talented throughout his whole career. He hasn't been someone who's gotten better, although, you know, this year has probably been his best year in terms of performances on the paddock. You know, every year he consistently performs at the same level. So, yeah, he's surpassing Sharpie this weekend and myself on the Brumbies ladder, but, you know, I'm well down on the Brumbies ladder, but he certainly deserves it. He's been a quality player for a long time. He's not one of those guys who has the record because there's no one else who can fill his spot. He genuinely has been the best in that position for a long time.
Christian spoke yesterday about making being a little bit more proactive in attack and using the set piece line-out drive as a platform rather than a weapon. Has that been a conscious readjustment this week, or has it just more been about instinct and knowing what to do?
No, I think we've been trying to implement that for the last couple of weeks. It's just the way the game's panned out, we haven't had the opportunity to use it. But I think the beauty of the call sheet this week is it's going back to things that we're comfortable doing, that we're confident in doing, and yeah, there's been a real energy lift, I think, at training around the set piece stuff.
And Christian talked about simplifying things and just sort of backing the skill sets. Is
Yeah.
a message from you guys?
Oh yeah, I think yeah. I mean, it's been really difficult because, like I said, we haven't had a 7-day turnaround for the last 10 weeks. Coming out of the test window, we've sort of had 6-day turnarounds in a row there, and I think this week it's just an opportunity for us to focus on doing things well rather than trying to do things differently. We're just going to go back, sort of pare back our call sheet a little bit and make sure we're doing them well.